Indeed, this is a bumper show. It is on ELBC Radio 99.9 and other frequencies across Liberia. The bumper show brings you informative information, education, entertainment, and it is infotaining. This is Liberia's biggest platform on state radio. It covers the entire country. Community radio stations across the country are also relaying the program because of the importance it brings to the people who are the listeners in the counties. They do allegiance to us as a state radio, but because they think that it is a time for the people to be informed, so they always relay the bumper show, Radio Plebo, Radio Sancoin. And my big brother's radio station, Jallah Grayfield, Representative Jallah Grayfield. His radio station also relays this program on its own, Radio Diampila, Radio Kintoma in Vanjam, another Vanjam but in Foya district. Radio Halangi in Kolahon. And all of those radio stations are relaying this program on ELBC Radio. And I'm here till 6 o'clock. Oh yes, the Liberian government. This is the information that you need to use accordingly and govern yourself as well. The Liberian government meets with importers of rice in the country amidst their resistance to drop the price of rice. Government prevails on them and they come to an amicable solution or a settlement of the crisis. Now rice price has been dropped, or I've been carried at $17 though. But you know the good thing is that when President George Weah took over in 2017, the government significantly improved the system and intervened significantly when it comes to the price reduction. Knowing fully well when Madam Sally was in power, rice was being sold for $16 per bag. But in the midst of the global economic challenges taking place around the world, President Weah's government decided to intervene in the rice importation by stabilizing the price of rice and making interventions. And those interventions were to subsidize the rice crisis by providing money so the importers to bring rice. So the rice price cannot be $16 any longer. So for the last 4 years in the Weah-led government, until this recent Ukraine-Russia crisis, the price of rice was $13 plus $13.50 or $14. But the importers said they are losing. The only thing they can do now is to sit with the government, for the government and them to talk and they recalibrate. And once they recalibrate, they will all agree on a price that will make the rest affordable. And I listened to some marketers around the country. I listened to Liberians this morning on various radio stations after the government released a new price ceiling. They are embracing it. You know why? Why they are embracing it? Because the reason why they are embracing it is because it is better for the rice to be available. They don't have a scarcity. When this rice crisis started in other time, I saw women jumping over fences around Monrovia going for rice. But when I listened to our mothers on so many radio stations across Liberia, they say yes, even though the government was subsidizing the rice before, but it is better to open the rice market. We will take our time in the next 1 hour to do a monologue and providing information about the rest crisis around the world and what is happening as the world makes intervention. As the world makes intervention. It is on ELBC Radio 99.9 and other frequencies across Liberia. My colleague, Saba George, started the discussion this morning because we come from the same school of thought. And so that the same school of thought will tell you what we've been discussing, and I'll only amplify what he said this morning and provide some detailed information than what he said this morning as well. You cannot afford to go away. Welcome to the Pumper Show. It is on ELBC Radio. And usually on this radio, we start with prayer. And those people who pray for us, they usually come from the Rural Broadcasting Department of LBS, headed by Isaac Garrison Red. But Mr. Red, I will not say this again. And what I will do, I'll just have to put a stop to this whole prayer issue, because I think this is a boost to your department. People should come and pray all the time, but they are inconsistent. So I will be praying myself, because it's let's bow. I will pray in prayer just for 30 seconds or 1 minute. Kwa kuman plan wa ko gala fale. Ku nangalai ku dadai gai ngle sui. Kwa ila she amawa. Kwa pai pona aga ku fale. Kwa she ko mu aga ngalai ja ku isha. Ba man le tama ka nang su aga ma lai bi lam. Kwa pa we fali again, ikbomante who President Paul, Dama George Manawia. Kwa pa ipona again, ku play komu, again ikbomante ku Vice President Paul, ne swako ku mayo, to a Howard Tiller. Now mo gabo don't go by the moon, Dagama Bova Chimmers. Kwa pa again, ku fali again, bomante Paul. Bomante nuclear pork and issue. Aga bomante ha plan manda mage egu lono. Aga nuclear the gun issue it lono. Nuang about that DDK, daga bombing kante, daga bapolu, daga grandjire, daga zwedu. Nanga papa iponage, kui folage, ipomande the port, yes, ya the moon. Manyo for Gadia. Imo iga kwa lesu ya kwa pagi pona kwa ku menyo kwa ge kwa nabo ya bia bai pol feme kan iye se ku mu ai loni na pai pona nangala nge ise no manuma nu pere ngada digaba agwa da di men ka ba ma ke kwa ifali again nangala nge ka dia nge ka de ko dia ku plebong Nui pele ba men abang mali menyoka bai apa oda apa ba ada nungkunu ngada kada dapat aba menyoka ba ni alun de po age idlisi pa yelo bu no po ba aga menyoka ka na isu ni isu kamu baya kunu kada baya ku ya ka gala nu apa ko yang ngati biar mana ko yang ku isu nangala Quite fully, no nice you, none nice you, the mama nice you. War, thank you. So let's go to peace again. I was praying the Pele Vernacular. And I dare my brother and friend, Saba George, to speak the crude vernacular the way I speak it. The way I speak the Pele vernacular. Where is my young brother, the man called? Who's Nyanton? Oh, Who's is fluent in the Pele vernacular. He speaks it very well. And sometimes when I have some difficulties, I call him and I say, Who's, how do you call this one impele? So one day I forgot the name of flour impele. I'm scratching my head. So I was sitting somewhere and the flour fell in my drink. And somebody said, you didn't know the name of flour. So I just started to call him. And I checked all in my brain, I can't find it. Then I call him and say, how do you call flour impele? And he called me, he said, Lulu. There are two pellets in Bonkan. There's a chocolate pellet and a Samuel pellet. And those of us who come outside, we are the Samuel pellet people who speak the most standard pellet. I'm not looking down my friends and brother Joy Mola and other people from the other side, chocolate side, no. But by statute and by notification and by recognition, we speak the most standard pellet. So you say Lulu or you say Lulu? Mama Brigayingo, I'm told my sister Mama Bridge Mensa has dedicated some bridges in Bond County right now. I saw the programs on Facebook. Kudos to you, Mama Bridge Mensa, representative of Salala District. I don't know that other man. That is my own representative. I don't even know him. I've never seen him before. He knows, you don't even see in the public glare easily. I don't know. But some days we'll connect. Welcome to the Bumper Show on ELBC Radio, 99.9 and other frequencies across the country. I will do a monologue for the first hour. I will open the line for you to participate. This is a worldwide discussion. We need to talk about it. In letting our people educate them and entertain them as well. Then on the flip side of 5 o'clock, the political leader of the Democratic People Party of Liberia, the Reverend Dave Kemu, has asked to sit on the platform. He thinks that there are things going on in the opposition community that are not correct, and he is a member of the opposition, and he tells me he wants to be president of this country. He wants to remove Dr. George Weah from power. Or he says to me, Jallah, the way things are proceeding from the opposition, our friends, are not correct. He wants to also weigh in the right situation and how can it be done better. What better alternative does he have if he were president of this country now? How does he do it differently? The Honorable Reverend Dave Kemu will be my guest. Let me recognize some of the guys who join us just in 5 minutes time. Then I go to my monologue at least for 10-15 minutes. 20 minutes, and I open the line for you for the next 10-15 minutes as well. And that conversation may take us up to 5:15 or so, because I want to have a long conversation with those Liberians who are listening now, because we want to provide information to the Liberian people about this whole race crisis. Welcome to the Bumper Show. I am the nation's heavenly J. My name is Jallah Emmanuel Nikki Kalufagala Kian Balakulu Nyale want to go Zubawama Samashang Jallah Grayfield. I'm here till 6 o'clock. Let me say welcome to you, my brother and friend Otis Pezin. He says he's watching LTV family. I'm following you from Ganta, Nima County. April Riches is here. He says, let me read April Riches. He said, April Riches. Hello, Jallah. Thanks for the show. What's happening? Let me see what's happening. I will continue with that. I know I'll continue with that. No, Nancy, I don't want that. I'm going to this protect our leaders first. April Riches says, hello, thanks for the show. I'm watching you live from Lawala Zoo Town. My name is April Folokula Riches. Honorable Emmanuel K. Balogun says, good afternoon, Mr. Jallah Grayfield. I'm told that a security personnel escaped the president trip. I will talk about that because the EPS have provided information on that. I will read it for you. That is not true. I spoke with the EPS boss this morning. In CO50, Troko Ramos. He sent a very short press release. I'll read it for you. Security people can talk for long, they can talk very short. You will find the twins out, is it a lie? You find the truth. But very short, they can talk very short, they can talk for long. Honorable Emmanuel K. Balogun, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Zuba covers a falling life from Virginia City, Lofa County. Otelo Nyanyu said, good afternoon, Brother Jallah Grayfield. Same as quality. Good afternoon, Jallah. I'm following you live on Zredu City, Grand County. Abraham Fruit Saki Jr. Yes, Mr. Grayfield, the price of rice really need to drop. Hilton Wheeler Jr., the proper defender. I've not heard this man that I've not seen for a long time. He said, good afternoon, Jallah. I'm following you live from a proper corner in Logan Town. What is happening in Logan Town? I saw that on Abu Kamara's page, Representative Abu Kamara's page. He said, a one looking down. I also saw that from the page of Naomi Blessing Francois. It seems that Looking Town is having a big program for oneness and unity. Vama Kroman, good afternoon, Jallah. I'm following you live from Salaye City, Lofa County. Keep informing us on a daily basis. Ansu Koma is following as well. Ezekiel Samsa Makundo. Good day, my nephew. I'm following you from San Juan Radio in Santa Colima County. Ezekiel Sam Siafa Makundo. And your man there at Radio San Juan. Jerry Kekula said, watching live from Pinso City, Zubatan, Liberia. Bella Jita. Good afternoon, big brother. Jallah following you live from Ominga Community, Monrovia. Bella, you are in town. I didn't know that. Bella, welcome to Monrovia of Grand County. Honorable George Watkins Jr. says, good afternoon, Jallah Grayfield, and a pleasant good evening to the peace-loving people of Riverside County, the land of supremacy, he says. Thanks for the show. I'm following you live from a comfort zone in District 13, Monserrado County, Liberia. Ahmed Hammer says, good afternoon, State Radio. I'm monitoring you live from Kakata City. Nyonyo Miller, texting you from years ago, Kissy Camp this afternoon. And Nyonyo keeps on, he said, good afternoon, sir, keep up the good work. Please share the video. The more you share the video, others will join in the discussion, and it becomes better for our country. Let me read a few last comments coming in. Where's Irene Jokoyon Bobo, the lady who follows us religiously from the office of the Director General of LBS, Esther Liberty Camus? Where is Jokoyon Bobo? Irene, how are you? How are you doing this afternoon? Oliver Gabler says, good afternoon, Jallah. I'm following you from Banga City, Bon County. Man Jadison said, following you from Old Road. David Galako Wise, following you from a proper corner. Keep up the good work. He's a veteran. That's my special assistant. He comes to the Veteran Bureau. So proud of him. Very industrial young man. Very competent young man. Very, 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 very important to me. Immunity and Topo. Keep up the good work. Continue to provide more information to our people on a day-to-day basis of the government. Watching live from Plebo City, New Jerusalem, Maryland County. That's a home of Dr. Buffer Chambers. Irene Jikoyan Bobo has joined me. I know I was just asking for you now. You have joined me right here. Otis Bazani said, good afternoon, Aaron TV family. I'm following you live from Gantanima County. Abraham Richard said, hello, Jallah. Thanks for the show. I'm watching you for you. I read that from Lavala Zoo. Then Zoe Westernat Boduo. Good afternoon, Jallah. I'm following you live from VOA community in he said where? Somewhere VOA. Then Jay Heron now has joined me. Welcome to the Bumper Show. Let me provide you some information. I will go first. You know, this information about rice. There was a crisis in this country that led to insurrections those of you who were born before the 80s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The 1979 Red Riot was a riot that was an opening, or it was an introduction to armed conflict in our country. When the likes of G. Bacchus Matthews, the like of Omen Dan, Marcus Dan, my Omen from the G Governor Commission, they were all here, and they were all here arguing that they wanted a change in our country because the TWP party had led Liberia for over 100 years, and there was a one-party system. But they wanted an alternative to that party. So when Todman died, the guys rejuvenated. They were in America, the like of how you call my woman? The families, my family. One of them is married now to my sister, Glee, family, my young sister, which is her family, the minister at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He's married to my sister, my young sister. So the families are my in-laws. But they were up for change in this country. They thought they would have used the Red Riot to change the situation around. But I'm starting with these historical fights to disabuse the minds of Liberians who think that violence is the way forward. That Red Riot in 1979 did not do anything for us. What it did was it saw our young compatriots going to jail at Post Turkish and at Bapuru in what they call it, that jail together. When the helicopters will carry people there and then they put you in the jail, come back. Belayala. But there's something going on around the world now that we all need to know. And that's why I've come to provide information on this matter for the next 45 minutes or above. When the Reverend Dave Kemu comes, we will expand the discussion. But whilst I sit here as a journalist who is okorum with the information coming from the government sector and know what is obtaining around the world, I must provide you information. Time will come, we'll talk in the radio, we'll come and talk to our people in simple English. If it causes me to speak Pele to my old man there in the village in Sanoye, or my old man there in Bentor, wherever my man comes from, and selling Bonka there, I will say, Karawolto. When you say Karawolto, it means you are listening. I know Karawolto, I mean, I will call you, I'm a you. I'm a bele. You know, to the small. When Pele says bele means small. Out of the small. You're listening to it. But listen, I will read a statement from the government of Liberia. Then I will come and provide some analysis on this Red crisis. Then you'll know what is happening around the world. Then you will not be used ignorantly by politicians who want to use a time of their radio or that because their network on Facebook and other social media to mislead you. We will provide a counter thesis on that misinformation. So let me read a statement. And recently, the president of Liberia, Dr. George Manawia, constituted a task force duped. As I read them, some places I'll reach, I will explain to you people. I beg you, listen to me. Dupe rest stabilization force, just as it did immediately upon taking the mantle of authority in 2018. So 2018, when the president took over the country, the price of rest was $16. He immediately convened a meeting and named a task force, and that task force decided that they should bring the price of rest down by $13. which you and myself have enjoyed since 2018 he became president. To tell the Godfair truth, my people, the Godfair truth is my mom sister that called Oman Gomashi is in Total Bon County. I was a small boy growing up in a village called Yanekole, going to Sunday district there on the main road. Every time my mother came to visit my auntie came to visit my mother, she would tell my mother when they're talking, Bisolo, the truth will set you free, but the lie will make you suffer. But for the sake of the truth, let's face it. Having an experience from 2018 up to this period, we were buying rice for $13.50. Yes, we did. As I go further, I will explain to you and I tell you and remind you. Because Dr. Buffett Chimers, who is a Speaker of the House of Representatives, he always quotes Norman Cousin. And he said, history is an early warning alarm system. If you don't have a historical fight, you can't go for the future because you must know what you did before you go to the future. Or as you say, what you did when you're down there. Norman Cousin is a historian. And Buffett Chimers always quotes him. He said that everything he says about Norman Cousin is saying to you that history will always remind you about the past. It prepares you for the future. So George Weah, when he took over as president of this country, he made sure that the price of rice was reduced from $16 on Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to what? $13.50. We're buying the rice for that price all day long. Until there was a crisis between Ukraine and Russia. Let me go further, as I said to you. The eruption of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 changed the market dynamics, negatively impacting the price regime with an average input cost taking an upward trajectory. Thus, GOL intervention by providing US 1.50 on each 25 bag rice as input cost subsidy rather. An increase in market volatility occasioned by the Ukraine-Russia war and a resultant increase in fuel and freight costs globally invariably changed market costs. As I go, I will explain to you some of those things. You actually listen. I'll talk in simple English. You'll say, yeah. The continued increase in the AMP terminal handling charges and a small window available for rice vessel to berth on time led to huge demurrage statement by some rice importers who are now speaking out loudly and clearly that they can no longer meet market demand unless GOL adjust the wholesale price upward. So let me say this again. So for the time from 2018 to this time, President Weah say I propose government, I can't carry the price of rest oil and make it $16. Some will say propose will bring the price down and will subsidize the price. So government library has been paying less than $60 million. I listened to former Finance Minister Amara Kone. I think it was on Prime FM or Truth FM that morning, and I listened religiously because I wanted to learn from that man. Amara Kone is a good public speaker. He's a good big brother too, though. I sat on my radio and listened to him. Amara Kone said one day, he said, even when Ellen Johnson was in power, we were subsidizing rice, meaning that they were giving money to the rice importer, they were adding money to that money. When you say subsidize, it means that they get some money there, you go and say, let me add all the money there because when I add it there tomorrow, when the money, when you go buy, you buy small price. But when you go buy your own price, the money still plenty, so let's add some there. So Amara said to us, in a year's time, they was paying almost over $100 million. I just forgot him. He said every quarter or so, they were paying almost of $250 million. Not so, but around $250,000 or so. I just forgot him. But Amara was Amara admitted that they said we spend more money on rest, to subsidize rest, but at the end of the day, it was the importers who enjoy it. If, in my own word, that Amara has not been patriotic any longer, anytime, any day, anybody thinks that way, he was very patriotic to say to us that we spend more money on rice importation here, and the importers were the one benefiting from it, and we just spending for nothing money. I'm making reference to this statement coming right here. I'll go back. Classes on. And so they say to us, the continual increase in AMP terminal handling charges and the small window available for rice vessels of birth in time led to huge demurrage payment by some rice importers who are now speaking out loudly and clearly that they can no longer meet market demands unless you adjust the price. So the people who send person we have in power, someone trying to find money, they put in the place and say, you go, when you go buy the red $8, you know, we'll get $50, 50 cents on that money, you pull it there, so when you can sell it red, you sell it for a small price. But when the people go buy the rest, they come with the rest in the country, they put in our warehouses. What they do is that they put the rest in their warehouses, but they are importers, right? You want to go and buy from them in bulk, meaning they buy from them plenty of rest. Then when you bring it outside, you can sell it to people for one bear, $16, or $13, 50 cents by the time. So what they were doing now, some of them started taking the rest from Liberia, carrying to Guinea and Sierra Leone. In the night when you must have sleeping, way midnight, they play tag. When the night comes, these Lebanese merchants will carry their trucks up to 5-6 trucks. They carry them and load them with rice and put rice inside, and they can pour from here, but they pour different over here. So one of those trucks will carry about 500 bags of rice, and they put different over. You can see all the palm trees hanging. When they go to the borders, the security border there, they're not plenty. How will one security man tell people say, you empty all the truck here, you empty everything there? So when the security people see them, with the tarpaulin on the car, they get a DKB there, they get a other one from here and bed, they get one. So they can't go wait and they go check. So when they leave and they carry the rest of Sierra Leone, why we send the rest for $13, 50 cents, they carry the rest of Sierra Leone and sell it for $23 or $24. Yes, sir. The Reverend Dave Camu is around here. I got a signal. They sell it for $13, 50 cents here. But when they go to that place, they sell it. I will tell you the revenue at 5 o'clock, so you can sit down and listen to the lecture. No problem. So they sell the rice for $10, 50 cents. Yeah. But when they export it to Sierra Leone, they sell it for $23 or for $24, thus making the Liberian government to lose. You understand? So, and the government is paying more than $40 million every year for rest subsidies in the country. So the government put a sign for London. They say, hey, my people will suffer here. When they bring the rest, they're ready to bring here. They will take the red and say, what do we do? And when they take it to the people in Sierra Leone and Guinea, we know. They will say, will be money there, they come out with small money, they say, we'll buy. So when the government import rest in the country, it will not take 2 months, they say the revenue. So this time around, when the price of rest are going up, the government called the Minister of Finance. They have the government to it. That means we can talk plenty. They have paper burn. That means they call him. Say, my son can stand right here. That's what to you. They call him. He can stand and he say, they say the rest price will put on the rate on top. They say we must sell rest for $16. We won't buy the rest and sell for $16 now. But if we don't sell for $16, when it's $17 and they propose $17, what the importers want, they say they will sell the rest for $18. Government said no, you can sell for $18. It will say have an effect on the people. So the government of Liberia and the importers have been going back and forth Finally, they agreed that we sell the breast for $7, 50 cents, or $7. One of them, yes, $7. So the government people call cement to it. If I say the government to the call, you say, can't sit down right, he can't sit down. They rest will come and say, we're going to buy now. The people say we want for all to put money in the system for the money to rest to bring $13. We should pay $60 million every year. Somebody will jump for a seat like, no, I can't do it. I can't find that money. They make jump in the seat like they flew his again. Then the minister of state they call him Wizard Blambo. Call him say, my man, you can find the money here. The man say, Papi, I can't find that money there. So what we'll do? So the government said we just agreed with the importers to get the price of rice up, which will be $7. But the point I'm writing onto you to say to you, my people in Radio Land, my Bella people, my Loma people, my Vibe people, my Crew people, all Chaklaboti. When crew men say all Chaklaboti, it's not easy. It's not easy around the world. It's not easy all Chaklaboti. So there's a crisis right now looming in Ukraine, where Russia has invaded Ukraine. As I speak, they are bombing their territories every other day. I saw one of the biggest investments in Ukraine that has to do with the oil industry. They bombed that place and it got burned. So Ukraine was one of the countries. Not everybody can eat rice. Some people can eat bulgur wheat. Some people can eat wheat. You know, in the interior, there's something they can plant on the farm. They can plant it between the rice and the cassava. It can grow, it can long like that, but it can grow up, then it tend to be a bulb. I grew up in the interior, so I know about that thing. In Peloquet, dung. So when it grows, it grows. So what is a reserve for the Pele people in Bon County or Lofa County? When it grows, you break it and put it in a bag and reserve it. When you finish eating all the rest, when dry season comes to plant, is that thing we can eat in Bon County, in Lofa County, and the people who come from the side, Bapul County, that will eat. So you go and pound it gets softer. You cook it and you put some and eat it nice. That is called what they call the wheat. So Ukraine is one of the major importers or exporters of wheat because they plant wheat in our country. Right now, because of the crisis there, they're pumping it everywhere. They can't find food to eat. I listen to over the BBC the video. That only they cried. She know what they cried. So I have my horse in Ukraine, in one of the cities, bigger cities. They always say, so I would die as a refugee or as a displaced in one of these cities in Ukraine. Yeah. To even find food and eat not easy. These are the people that have no food. So food business getting high in the whole world, my people. So nobody but food you say, Joy, you have people pulling food price or it is because of Ukraine crisis. Right now, Ukraine cannot export wheat because they get the wheat, but because they don't have it. Those guys who were eating rice, who were eating wheat before, because there's no wheat, now they have to go buy rice. So there's a competition right now, as I speak to you, in India, in part of what country, I saw on Facebook, where there's a flood all over the place, in the city center. Oh yes, Liberia, we are blessed. Let me say that to you. You will never see water going Broad Street. After 1 hour, the whole water goes down, right there by the water. It goes back into the sea. But in Thailand, I saw in Thailand, when the rain falls, after 30 minutes, the whole place gets flooded as a result of global, of this thing we have to go, yes, this climate change we're having. Their farmers cannot plant their crops again because they don't have fertilizers. My sister called Commissar Jallah is in a village called Yana Kolere after Tuduta, we did the road going to Sanoe. She makes pepper garden as our way of survival. She called me and said, brother, I have planted my farm, but the fertilizer been enough for fun. Please, they selling fertilizer now for 15,000 for one bear. And I have the painstakingly go in my coffers. And I say, I don't buy you fertilizer bear, I'll buy only half of that bear. So I said, one small money he got bear. He said, oh, brother, he said, you said, I said, no, they have, I said, I was sending that money to you, but then one of your nephew here, they put in all of school fee, baby. So the other 2,000 I sent it to him. I'll give her the money she got first. The next I sent it to her, she was happy. So she making paper farm right in here, because Yanokole. She can get 15,000 buy one bag of fertilizer, so I don't get send half that money to her. So Ukraine and other countries are making fertilizer now. They can't even make fertilizer now because there's no way to produce. You need what do you need? Current. You need current to produce fertilizer. Or how do I make about the new current electricity for some of those things? So Ukraine has what? Reduce its price of production. Those who were eating rice, who were eating food yesterday, now they're eating rice. The demand for rice has increased. And once the demand comes, what happens? And when it increases, what happens? So if the price will increase, what how do we call it? Economics, I can say it. When there's a high demand, what happens? So when there's a high demand, then the price will go up, right? Because everybody wants it. But there's something my friend and brother said this morning in Suburb George that I also researched myself. Was the FAO has said something that there's a looming food crisis in the next year, 2023. I think I said what somebody said that there's someone sewing the Bible. They can say they think you see today, you don't see tomorrow, or you see tomorrow. So today we buying rice for what? For $17. If all does not go well, where there be a crisis prevention strategy in Ukraine and in Russia, tomorrow after 2023, by February, the price of food will go up so high that you can't provide this $17 again. But the good thing about a country like Nigeria is that, we get food here. I was driving the other day around Nizo Junction. I saw one truck, the truck that they building here, the whole place there. That truck got green plantain on it that day. I saw it. I said, Ray, I said the thing I saw. So every day people bring plantain. You know, for me, I didn't eat rice in my home every other time. If I go home and turn up for my wife and turn up for my food, I go and eat my pepper soup. I sweat with my neck. Yeah, man, snano can do. Now only small baby, there's snano can. My second snano can. I can enjoy it. So we gotta adjust ourselves. It's not just about rice. My big brother called Brian, James Bryant, he's in a village called Zero Damai. That man, Zero Damai is in Lofa County, in Vanyaman District. That man is one of the biggest red farmers in Vanyaman District. The other day he called me and said, small brother, I made a farm. As I speak to you, the farm is so big that the red dropping now is getting dry. I have to go to in some other place that there's some money to him. Say, hey, people, small brother, when he say, hey, plenty, but not plenty. He said, 10,000, I can't do anything for me. I would. But again, I'm saying we must intervene in the crisis. This man makes a farm that is about almost 18 hectares of land. The women will go there, they will cut the rest, they will like, in the farm when you go cut the rest, you can build like it. It go up. You see, just like, how you call it? The hill, the small mountain, how you call it?
Mountain, yeah.
The small mountain. And they'll make it, you see it. But the rest is there getting rotten. So my people, let's not be hasty in decision making and say the Georgia government is this one. And this thing is a global pandemic. Pandemic means is a thing that happening around the whole world that affecting everybody. My people in Lofa, I know you can feel there's a small bread basket of Liberia, right? You hold on to that. The Liberian government says, if we had to subsidize rice, meaning if the government Liberia will give money to every time they give the rice importer every day, every year it will be 60 million. You know what 60 million can do for you? Every road they put face in the country, one mile road, that 1 million. So they buy 60 million. It can face the road from Bodiala in Nima County all the way to Tostown in Grand County or beyond. It can face from road from Total to Sanoyo Kota Road or carry the Kelebe or it carry all the way to the Simple River before crossing the Bapol County there. So the government say they will open the market, let everybody bring rice. You want to bring rice. But the good thing is that the Liberian Marketing Association say they tell the government thank you because that money government will be spending 60 million. They ask someone to say someone to get the money. Someone to say no, I can't find it. I can't find the money. So the government say if there's a need to raise that money, they raise that money and do something else with it. They're not going to pull it in rice production or the third post will be because they see like when they put the bringing rice there, the people that they simple stealing the money can they simple stealing the rice and carry those to Guinea and Sierra Leone. So like I was talking to the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, the one who just been appointed by the President, on Blambo Wise. He is also frustrated with the things that happen in the country. Yes, the government is frustrated with the things that are happening. These Lebanese merchants, some of them are crooks. Yes, they are crooks. They go to Guinea, they get warehouses there, they get rice, put rice in the car and carry to Guinea to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, we carry one bag of rice on their mind. What is doing money? It's about $32 US. Liberia was saying for 17. But they carry the rest overnight after we give them support. They carry the rest overnight and sell it. Our people are here hungry. Then our politicians and the people say, oh, the people don't care for you. They're insensitive. Oh, Joe, we don't care for you. He say, okay. Joe, we say, you do it for you. He do it. Then you hear the Cummins, you hear the black guys, you hear the abilities. You hear them talking all this they talk. It doesn't help us. But let me end on this one. And I will say this to you. Somebody raised this earlier. I will say that. I'll open the line for you for at least 20 15 minutes. I will take the political leader at 10 minutes past the hour. We'll have a conversation, very long conversation. Somebody said to me, you always like to be talking to this man. I said, but man is a politician. And sometimes those opposition politicians, you get an invitation to come, they say, they won't come. So I want to now tell it out. But let me read one statement coming from the EPS that somebody asked me earlier about. I read the EPS statement. Very short. Where's EPS 50? Trukon Roberts sent me this one. 50 EPS. I'll read it for you. Just a short statement. I said to you earlier, I said the people who can carry a gun, the gun people, they can't talk today. Police people, army people, EPS people, what kind of people? They get up plenty. So I'll read a statement coming to you right now because there was a report coming in the social media that 9 professional EPS officers who have accompanied the president of Liberia to America escaped. And President Weah doesn't have a security. That has been trending. It is something that is worrisome. It worries everybody. But this is why Mr. Trukon Roberts sent me after I made some inquiries this morning. Yesterday morning, he sent it to me after 6 o'clock. The Executive Protection Service's attention has been drawn to reports circulating on social media that EPS officers assigned to President of Liberia, His Excellency Ambassador Dr. George Manneh Weah, left their respective duties and are nowhere to be seen. The EPS rebutted such claim. We would like to inform the public that the president and his entourage are still on the tour, and EPS agents assigned are working as per their duties. Thanks, Honorable Trukon Nathaniel Roberts Senior, Director EPS. So, in other words, there's no EPS officer who ran away. If you have counterfacts to what was just read, you can provide a fact later. But the EPS said to us, there's nobody who escaped. No, these are political times. People say, even in the worst case scenario, one person said, okay, I want to be, come back. They say, "Man, run away." But Troken Rawa say, "Nobody run away." I'll open the line for you for the next 10 minutes. Let me hear your comments on the rest crisis. Look, one thing is that the marketing association, Library Marketing Association, they say they embrace the government move, that the government should open the market. Don't even let them report it. They're taking the rest to Guinea. The marketing association say open the market. If the DPL political leader wants to import ready, bring it. Don't leave a Lebanese man. Lebanese people taking the rest, they carrying to Guinea, they're selling it there for 28.
I was one of those who suggested that.
So we'll talk to you. 080514096. I have two numbers. If you didn't call any of the two numbers, you call any number outside this one. I will not take you see. You see what I mean? 0880 514096. 0880 514096. The other number is 0776 680 0886 680 Let me take the first call on the Lone Star line. Hello, welcome you live on the Bumper Show. Hello, welcome. Is that Rosetta Sankale? Okay, Sankale, let's hear you. Please do. That's what you hear. Yeah, but Sankale, Rosetta, this is a situation, right? If you divert $17 and some more cents to that, it's around 2,650. So sometimes you're not finding where you want to find it. So even if you pay $50, above that one, man, not too bad, man. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rosetta. Rosetta, thanks a lot. Hello, welcome you live on the Bumper Show. What's your name? Where do you come from? Let's say you're from Tinga Village, my brother. All right, thank you. The next caller, welcome you live. Let's hear you quickly. Hello, you live. Let's hear you. Yes, you live on a Bumper Show. Let's hear you quickly, my friend. Using Jobo, the Deputy Director General for the that's how are you, my brother? Let's hear you quickly. Honorable Director, welcome you live. Let's say you, Honorable Director. Mm-hmm. 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 Of course. No, but the 60 million, it was not at the time now. It was less than 60 million. The government subsidized that ever since. But now, if the government wants to maintain that price of $17.50, you will pay 60 million every year. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But listen, even though the Qatari government said it will help us to build a road in Lofa County, so it's good that I generally acknowledge it, but I want to provide this information to Liberian people that the president's visitation to Qatar was not free. They posted it will face our road. Mm. Mm. Okay. I want to already gotta conclude, yeah. Thank you, Eugene Jobo. Let me take this caller from here. He has been here for long. But call me if you call me on any other number I didn't call here. Just be prepared to state your name in that number. Just put your name on the number. Say this is a person because I know there are some officials, there are some good friends, and there are only two numbers I got here. So you gotta be very careful. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. Yes. You call me Dwala. Let's hear you, my brother. But listen, listen. Let me give you information. You know what the government did? We still have 1 month to February, right? The new price already takes effect of February. What the government did was the government made intervention that from now to January to February, they will say make some small intervention so that it will not affect you now. Okay, thank you, my friend. Your line is so terrible. Let me take this call. Hello, welcome. Let's say quickly. Hello? Kiang malak belagu mana na? Ngabo iwe bo. Hmm. Hmm. These are the Lebanese merchants and the Indian merchants. These are the guys who are causing the problem. Mag thanks a lot. You don't have lots of time. Let me say welcome to my brother and friend. Koloba Biakwe is watching me from Vanjaman City, Lofa County. Emmanuel Glade Boga is watching me from Magaby County. Aaron Tia has joined me. Abraham Political Motor City is watching me from the headquarters of the Veteran Bureau on the most talk about Bagube Avenue in the community. Marcus Kutuakwe, he happens to be my cousin though. I think so. He's watching me from here. Let me take another call from here. I'll take a few calls and I'll call to my guest, not Mr. He's a political reverend. I will take you, my friend. Moses Watson Johnson. Moses Watson Johnson, you get more money on phone. Hold on, I'll take you. Hello, welcome to the next caller. Are you Abraham Political Mother said whose name I just called? Okay. You have few seconds to make a comment. All right. Thank you, sir. The next caller, welcome. Oh, no. I think McBain is here. I talk to McBain. Hello, Moses Wasi Johnson. How are you? Honorable Moses Wasi Johnson. How are you? You need to reduce the monitor, sir. Please do that now. McBain, I'm getting McBain. Mm-hmm. Please do. Mm. Absolutely. 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 Yeah, but again, Mr. Gbea, if the government is subsidizing the rice, I know that we have the free ECOWAS trade, right? But the trade does not even affect Liberia positively here because if you import rice from abroad and brought it to your country, Guinea, you are selling it for $30. And so in Africa's in Sierra Leone for $28. Then they sell for $18. You think someone going to rest of Liberia to that country? Thank you, Honorable Moses Washington Johnson. Let me take the next caller here. Hello, welcome you live on a bumper show. Let's say it quickly. You live, let's say it quickly. You live, go ahead. All right, from Kakara City, let's say you, my brother. Thank you. Let me take this caller from here. Hello, welcome. What's your name? Where do you come from, sir? Welcome. Ruben Connor, the proper defender. Let's say quickly you have just 10 seconds. They are taking restaurant to Ghana via boat. So it means the guys will go and buy the rest and put in a wheelbarrow and carry the west and put in the boat and carry. Jesus Christ. So it is only from Liberia to Guinea and to Sierra Leone, but not from Guinea to Liberia, not from Sierra Leone to Liberia. Thank you, my brother. The next caller, you have 5 seconds. Let me hear you quickly. What's your name?
Thank you, Jallah. This is Ojugu.
Ojugu Ogboswa, Ojugu Ogboswa. Let's say you quickly. I'll give you 10 seconds. Please go ahead.
Jallah, I call to appreciate the government ministry and the national government. Jallah, it is important that the public have to know this. The government ministry is saying to you as Liberians, anybody that you will catch anywhere with rest on cars, because they are saying to you when you report them, you have a percentage.
No, what? So you know what they're talking about? Which of the in the territorial conference of Liberia or outside the borders, William?
No, in the territorial conference of Liberia.
So how do you describe listen, Ogbosa, listen. Ogbosa, let's not mistake this thing with something else, right? If I am a rest dealer and operating in Monrovia, I'm taking rest from Monrovia, Kakata, you can arrest me. You only arrest me when you see me to the border of Guinea and I can't arrest or the around border side.
Of course,
Nobody did. So if I told the restaurant, I get it to Broadview, you arrest me for that? But let me clear now. When you do information, don't be making information to be as dangerous as you want to make it to be. All right, thank you. You made your point. Let me take one more call, then I'll come and bring the political leader in. This is the reason I'm calling for, because he has a different idea. The Reverend Dave Cameron. We'll give him all the time to talk, and we'll give you, I think, 15-20 minutes to have a conversation. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. Oh, this guy has gone off. Let me take this one. Hello, you have 10 seconds. Let's hear you. Hello? Oh, Peter Macaulay, the man, one of the proper defenders. Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Peter, you have 5 minutes, no time. 5 seconds, rather, no time. My man, he order, I wanted no time for all the introductions, my man.
Jallah, I want to say thank you to Winnie Deeds and also to President John, but we are, President, we are get position to our young Liberians who will serve in zero capacity to work in the interest of the Liberian people. Today, we are seeing our major food that Liberian people always eat on time. Under the stewardship, Mr. Control of the government, especially the communities, to make sure that the price of rice.
You have 2 more seconds to the end. Oh.
Yeah, to be $17.50. Look, Jallah, it's a welcoming news.
Thank you. It's a welcoming news. The next caller, David King. Let's hear you quickly. Let me take your leave for you. You're the last caller, David King. Reduce some money to David King.
Thank you, Jallah. Jallah, let me comment it first. Jallah, as you all know, the issue of rights in our country is a serious political component, and the Liberian people have been offering to have the right school for $20. But within the mind of the government ministry and the task force that was set up by the president, knowing fully well that our
And David, do you know that the importers were saying they want to sell the rest of $18.50? The government said no, it had to come to $70.
Exactly.
They have been on the scene back to back. The government said no, because when President George took over in office in 2018, rest was $16, right? He said no. He started subsidizing the rest, so he came to $13 for the last 4 years.
$13.
So he thought that if you carry to $70, it is like in the proper agreement of the country, the proper arrangement.
Exactly, because Jallah, as a leader that cares for his people and having an astute people working within the Ministry of Commerce, the government ministry, the inspector cannot be everywhere at the same time.
Okay.
That's why some of us are recommending to the ministry to have a hotline.
All right.
We can call the hotline whatever our right want to be.
David, thanks a lot. No time. Thank you, David. Thank you. We gotta go. I'll take a break now and come to the Reverend David Cameron. What is going on here? Let me see what's going on. Let me see. Anthony, you gotta come and help me here. My producer seems to be sleeping on me. I need to get his questions coming up as I get ready for it. Sorry for that. There's something playing here from somewhere else. You gotta cut it off from there. There's a video playing there. You gotta cut it off so I can have this conversation going on very quickly. Yeah, please do. It's okay now. I think I'm finding some difficulties here. Perform me one song. I need to get something done quickly as I invite my guests to the show. Let me get this one quickly. It's not your issue right now. Let me just introduce this one quick. You know, this is not the spirit because the man who sits in the studio here speaks Pele, he speaks Bassa. And he grew up in Bassa County. The Reverend Dave Cameron, political leader of the DDPBL, the Democratic People's Party of Liberia. Very shortly we discuss so many issues. If you just join us, this is ELBC Radio 99.9. Other frequencies are join us. Let me say welcome to the show, Mr. Ezra C.A. Ezra C.A. is one of the biggest guys at Kings FM Radio. Ezra, I will call you after the show. Ezra, I will call you after the show. Ezra, do you want to participate in the bumper show? No, I didn't think so. Let me come to the Reverend Dave Cameron. Reverend, welcome. How are you? It's a pleasure having you here again. You know.
Yeah, Jallah, it's a pleasure being here. And I thank the Lord for being here, and greetings to the Liberian people and all of us.
You know, you walked in when I was discussing a very sensitive issues. A very sensitive issue, rather.
Yeah.
And I commenced with the issue of rice. In 1979, there was a crisis here that saw a dramatic turn in the governance process of our country. That was situation we handled at the time. But today's problem is a global problem. Rice. So there are two things in Liberia that have been a case. Rights, RIC and the RIGH rights at the time. My rights to participate and rights to eat.
Rights to rice.
My rights to rice. So it's revolving. Let me hear you. How do you do?
You know, let me apologize for the quality of my voice. I am under the weather, but I had to come and say something about the issue at your invitation. Let me start first with giving thanks to God for the Commerce Ministry. When citizens speak and their government listens, that's a good thing. I remember I sat here sometime before, and I was among the group that said that the government should open up the rice market.
Of course, I heard you say that before.
That was one of the suggestions we gave. And you know, when government listens to the citizens, whether you're opposition or not, they listen to you and they do something, you got to give them a pat on the back. So I want to again come on this platform to say thank you to the government for listening to us to open up the market. However, more could still be done. For example, we open up the market, but we give incentives to Liberian business people, Liberians who want to bring rice. I'm not talking about foreign nationals.
Do you think we have Liberians who want to do that business?
We do. There are Liberians who want to get into this business if our government can provide them the protection and give them the incentives they need. So step 2 in what the government has done is that make it open. All of you who are Liberian business people and you want to go into importing rice, let's sit with you. We are not going to give you subsidy, but we are going to remove some tariffs on the importation of rice. And this is going to be a short-term solution to our food insecurity problem.
Say that again.
This is going to be a short...
What did he say before the short term? I wouldn't say that again.
What I said was...
It may have slipped the ears to some people.
Yeah, that the government should give an open invitation. Liberians here in Liberia and abroad who have the finances and the passion to go into importation of rice. That means we want to take a step to put some limits to saying that, look, We want to give Liberian businesses the opportunity. We're not talking about Lebanese merchants now. We are not talking about Indian merchants. We are talking about Liberians who have the capital. You want to go into this business. We will give you incentives for getting into this business. So if you are importing rice, we can assure you we will give you incentives so that when you bring the rice into the country, certain taxes that's supposed to be levied on the importation of rice, because you are a Liberian citizen and we want to empower you, the Liberian citizens, we will remove certain tariffs, you know.
And those tariffs you mean on the Lebanese and Indians businesses?
Yes,
Because they have come.
You know, we can be spectators in our own
Absolutely.
economy.
That's what the government said.
That's what the government said. So when we begin to take these kinds of steps, then we give our business people, the Liberian businesses, the assurance that yes, our government is ready to give us incentives to back us. Okay, and then I said, this giving Liberian people an opportunity to bring rice into the country, and then we give them incentives, which will be a good step, should be a short-term solution to the food insecurity challenge we have in the country. That's a short term. So government can sit with the Liberian rice importers, whether they are an association, and say, look, this thing is going to be a short-term solution. And then we develop a medium-term solution. But then the long-term solution that we would like to develop will be localizing rice production. Okay. So my people, you guys are interested in selling rice and bringing it, but as cooperatives, we would like to see a time when you people will get together as rice farmers, cooperatives, and we could subsidize the cooperatives that will be producing rice. So we divide the country up into zones, all right? And Lofa, Bong, Nimba, Grand Jide, River G, you know, River Says, we divide the country into zones, areas that can grow rice. The Wapolo region, they got good soil for growing rice, you know, and all of that. So when we do that, we capacitate the Liberian farmers, which will be step 2 into solving the rice situation in the country. Now, if you, the rice sellers, are now proposing that we give you 60 million, which we say we will not do because we want to incentivize our Liberian businesses that want to go into rice importation, then the second step would be that we bring people, farmers together. There are farmers already in the counties who are very passionate about rice production. So if we bring these people together into cooperatives, you know, somebody say, let government make farms. No, I don't support government farms, but we can.
But prior to the war, government was making farms.
Yes.
In other districts in Liberia.
Listen, you go to the shuffling highway, Marshall, Tobo had the coconut plantation there, the government farm. If you went there today, all those coconuts are no longer there. What belongs to government, nobody takes care of. But what if we brought the rice farmers together? We say, okay, you people from Lufa, this, you form your cooperative. And then we got 6 or 7 active cooperatives in the country that are serious about producing rice. And then we tell them, we put them together to form cooperatives. They are not going to function as individuals, but the cooperatives, we can give you people subsidy, and then the government works with partners. We are going to give you people the cooperatives, the tractors you need, the implements you need, you know, the tilling machines, the harvesters, and all of that. And your cooperative has a leadership, and they sign up for this equipment, they take ownership of it, they make sure they are in charge of the maintenance, So if me, David Kiamu, I'm part of the cooperative, and I have 25 acres that I'm making rice farm with, the cooperative will send the equipment to my farm, and they help me to do my clearing and my plowing and everything, and then they move to farm B,
Yeah, from Jallah Grayfield.
Jallah Grayfield's field. Look, if we try this thing, it has worked in other countries. It's not that we don't have good people in this country, but we don't have leaders that want to look for these good people. So we capacitate these local rice farmers as our long-term solution. In the meantime, we can come to the media and say, my people, we got 6 or 7 cooperatives that will be producing rice. But as we capacitate them to produce rice, rice will not, local rice will not be on the market in the next 2-3 months. But these people that are importing rice will be depending on their rice for some time. At a particular time in the history of our country, we will stop the importation of rice. Let's start getting used to eating, our own rice.
But then you need to be careful, because these were some of the things that led to the 1979 rice crisis, because there were huge importation of parboiled rice to fire SYZ.
Yeah.
And the Togo government says that the best thing to do is that let's promote tariffs on the imported rice, so that the local growing rice can be subsidized, but we can be paid for more.
Okay.
And the people did not say that way.
At
They
that
felt that
time-
they're being fish, their rice was being fish
At that time, I think I was in the 4th or the 5th grade.
Okay.
I can remember. Okay, the thing was that the decision was too abrupt. Listen, you can have a very good plan, but the way you implement the plan, the Togo government then had a very good plan. That was a good plan. But we needed to give the Liberian people time to absorb the plan. I think it was too abrupt, So if we had gone, if the government in those days had come and said, look, this is our long-term goal. We want to be self-sufficient in food production. We now, after we have worked for some time, I think we got some rice farmers in this country that are producing enough rice for us to eat. Since we have enough rice for us to eat, we will begin to take some little steps to making sure that we eat what we are producing. So if you are going to be thinking of eating rice that is coming from America, then that means it's going to be luxury food. So in the next 6, 7, 8 months, that we will have enough Liberian rice on the market. It will be your choice. If you want to eat parboiled rice, then that luxury food now you want to eat, we will put taxes on those food, so that people who want to eat them will know that they are now living in luxury, but we have sufficient food on the market. So what took place in 1979, it wasn't that the Liberian people didn't want to eat Liberian rice, or they were not ready to buy the imported rice. It was just that the decision was a little too abrupt. The communication was abrupt. I was a boy at that time, but I am very sure, like we are doing today, if the government had taken weeks of awareness and getting the citizens prepared to accept that decision, 1979 would not have happened. So if we do the same thing now, we don't have to implement right away. These days, radio is very effective, and you guys are doing a very good job. So if we say, look, this is the direction the country is going, opposition politicians, those in position politicians, and those who are not in position, we all come together. This is the direction the country will take in the short term, from this time to this time. These are the things that we'll be doing. In the medium term, from this time to this time, these are the things we'll be doing. Start getting yourself ready for the long term. The long term is going to start from this time to this time. With the kind of communication you people do, today and the effectiveness with which we are communicating now, the citizens in Liberia will be well prepared.
Now, let me pause you right there and ask some questions again. The other time, the Deputy Minister of Finance, Augustus Fumo, sat in this very city again. And he made some proposals. He said there's a loan scheme at the ministry that people go and apply for loans and to get involved in agriculture. Before the war, we had the agriculture bank. I don't know you know about that because you're more mature than I. But those things, we don't have agriculture bank now. Now people think accessing these materials or accessing the loan from the Ministry of Finance, it becomes so cumbersome.
It is.
Yeah. So if it's cumbersome, they think that they cannot go there because if you went there and come back and said, "My man, they play I went there yesterday," they get the same land and not easy. People get discouraged. How do we decentralize this process? Taking it from the finance ministry, carrying to the county service center, and the superintendents getting involved, and XYZ, that many Liberians get involved and take loan for the government and pay back the top.
I think I have suggested here before that if we are serious about feeding ourselves as a nation, the agricultural bank is going to be very, very critical to the process. Agricultural banks are different. They operate differently. You know, they don't give you loan today. Then they say in 3 months we want it back. Because crops have...
It becomes a revolving...
Yes, you know. So if we are serious about feeding ourselves, this country has the capacity to create the agricultural bank. Look, if it were not for wickedness, if it were not for greed, if it were not for selfishness, we have what it takes to create with our partners. There are people who love this country and they want to help the country. What they need is serious leadership that they can trust. But if we decide as a nation that we want to make sure we feed ourselves in the next 5 years, we want to establish an agricultural bank, a bank that's going to be independent of government control, and funds are there, and farmers will come and access loans, you know, and the bank will give them their terms. It is workable. The government needs to create the atmosphere. So maybe this is another suggestion. Now that we've taken this step and we tell the government, thank you, hey, look, let's start taking the second step, the third step, the fourth step, and sooner or later we will have the agricultural bank, and then people will begin to do business with the agricultural bank. People will begin to put money there who are in this country and out of the country, and then we'll have money that our farmers can come and credit or get loans from. I don't believe what has been taking place, maybe at the Ministry of Agriculture or the Ministry of Finance, hasn't been working very well. The agricultural bank is going to be our solution to this thing.
Let me welcome Mr. Wapo Matthews. He says, "Hi, Jallah. This is Wapo Matthews. I'm watching you from Zumantown, Otis Harris Avenue, and I can really enjoy your presentation on the Bumper Show." Let me read you your comments and come back. Mercy Tamba of Mupawel, you were trying to get to me. The line has been busy. Mercy, we'll take a time to talk to you as well. If you call back on the show, let me read a few of the comments coming on the other side, and I'll come and ask a political review, a few other questions. Mevina Levy has joined us. She said, nice. Ralph, we said, Jalawat. Good evening. I'm watching from Riverside County. Christopher Benide is watching us from Maggie County, he says. Luckyboro Arthur Jones. Good afternoon, Jallah. I'm watching you from Grand Judah Town. Joseph C. Wabo. I'm graciously following from Zuedu City, where the most celebrated senator is Senator Zoe Manapeno. Senior bloodstream is buried. Coliba Biakwe is watching me from somewhere in Lofa County. Coliba, welcome to the Bumper Show. The other time, the last time I checked, there was this Ibomath and Etonu agreement that the government entered. That was basically to help Liberia build our roads, coastal road defense, and XYZ. But that later began to be a problem, and that was actually cancelled. Again, a report of a resource swap where China comes and we give our mountains like Wologisi, which I said about the feeder. Wologisi, maybe one of the village of the mountains in Lofa in Bon County. We got one in Bon County, man. It's those are mountains I know. So we'll give these mountains, come and mine them, and then we'll give you resources, come and develop our country. That was something that got started when the president visited China. But again, we didn't hear much about that. And do you think that we really need to follow on those agreements that will help us to move in our agriculture sector?
I think so, but with caution.
What caution?
And the caution is that we need to minimize government control of these things. Take for example, when Tolba was still president, when we had the Bon County Agriculture Development Days, Nimba County Agriculture Development Days,
BCADP, LCADP.
If you look, those were government corporations or government operations, but if you looked at them, you saw some kind of independence. You know, and they were very strong. So if we minimize government control and we set up these private public partnership corporations that give a lot of independence to the body that's going to be running it, then we will be starting on the right foot. So those arrangements that you are talking about, we welcome them. You know, look, Jallah, I'm from the opposition, but listen, whether we are opposition or whether we are in position, the reason we want to get into government and the reason this government is in government, is a government, is to solve our people's problems. Sometimes it's difficult for a single person to solve a nation's problem. So all of us, you know, people have been saying all hands on deck. You know, I took that message very seriously. That's why I don't hesitate. If I have an opinion, I will put the opinion down. And we thank, you know, God that the government does listen to opposition. So we welcome those ideas. The government needs to just make sure that it minimizes its involvement in these things, get private citizens involved. If these private citizens, whether they come from what group, what county, what, you know, bring them and let's look for expertise. This country has expertise. You know, there are so many expert people with knowledge sitting down, and every day some of these men and women, you know, are getting bored. So the arrangement with those mountains, you know, putting gardens there, we're producing tomatoes, we're producing onions. This country can produce all those things. The government needs to give the surety, bring the people in, create the avenue, let them interact with your citizens, minimize your control, and let's see what your private citizens will begin to do. And listen, for me, it doesn't matter really who gets the credit. You know, that has been my.
That's one of the major important things.
You know, it doesn't matter who gets the credit.
Yes.
As
it's
long,
our study starting now
very good.
that will have a long-term investment and long impact on the country.
Very good. As long as we are giving the service to our people that they need. Listen, when you walk around Monrovia, around Liberia, people, you can see hunger in people's faces. You can see frustration. Listen, we can solve our problems together. Let's ask the experts. They are sitting down. Come, brother, you are Liberian. You can help with this thing. Come and see what you can do. Madam, you guys come. Let's hang here. Let's make sure that rice shortage become an issue of the past. Let's give ourselves the next 2-3 years. Local rice, those who want to eat rare rice, they will get rare rice. Those who want to eat white rice, they will get white rice. We got the capacity to produce, you know, to feed ourselves in this country. So we want to encourage the whole thing about bringing people here from other countries who are experts, whether they're from China, whether they're from India, you know, we need to just put the agreements together, and let's make sure that the agreements we put together will always favor the Liberian side, because Liberia is the country we are fighting for.
Now, let me ask you one question as we open the line. I will come back with
Yes.
a few calls and I'll come back, and then you can go again. You've been here and you've been following the political situation and political comments coming from opposition like you. And the president has traveled from the country for over a month. He stays away, and there's nothing happening in the country. There's no leadership. But the investment of the president is being showcased when I listen to the Eugene Nangbe on the BBC talk about 170 million returns to the country in just a month. While he was in Hungary, another 50 million is provided with 28 scholarship for Liberians. But yet, your counterparts are saying that the president is out of the country. There's no leadership, and the country stands to benefit nothing. What do you make of that?
You know, listen to me, Jallah. I'm a pastor first, then a politician second.
And truth telling is part of you, right?
Truth telling is part of you. Know that God doesn't like deceit.
Okay.
If I do well as opposition, I need to be thanked and appreciated. If government does well, government needs to be thanked or appreciated. Because I am government in waiting.
Okay.
DBPL is government in waiting. So, in the first place, my reaction to those claims will be, look, this country has leadership. We have the House of Elders, the House of Representatives, the House of Senate. Are they aware of the president's travel out of the country for this length of time for reasons 1, 2, 3? And I say yes. I have seen a communication from the president to the House of Representatives and the House of Senate, and he did not leave the country without their consent. So they are very aware. He convinced them, and we got confidence in our legislature. They are the elders in the land. So the way I will respond to that criticism is that criticism is unfair. Is not justified. We have a leadership in the country, the House of Representatives and Senate. They know better, and they were consulted, and they were convinced that the president was going to attend to national issues, and we need to stop there.
What about the criticism? Your father